Someone was asking if there's a way of having like 2 players or just more than 1 player, and they like do combat or whatever, and to like knock each other out of the running for that level. How would you like detect that there's only 1 left and give that one a score because they were like the final one? So let's make these different colors. Let's use the coat mode and just grab different colors. So let's make that one red and that one blue. These are really intense colors. And then green and yellow. Which looks incredibly like green. Make it more orangey. That'll do. So yeah, so first let's look at how to find out which ones are alive and if there's only 1 left. So let's select all of those and then L1 and unsquare. So I've got a tweak menu, but this applies to all of these. Now we'll give a label of target, and then we will search for that label using a trigger zone, and we will set that to look in the entire scene instead of just an area, and we will look for the label of just target. So as you can see, like it's looking for these things because it's looking for things with the label of target. So the things with the label of target start kind of flashing green like this while this tweak menu is open like that. You can also see that it's detected down here, and it's got a number detected. Let's find out why will give us number detected. So it says it's only detected 1. This is because this is the number required. That's like the maximum number this can detect. So I guess it's probably like to save on performance. Once it's found 1, it just stops looking for any more. It's probably very good for performance, something like that. Now if we want it to find more of them, so we move it to 3, now it's looking for a maximum of 3 or 4. So we've got 4, might want to set it to 4. So you've got to set it to some big number. So just set it to whatever number, it doesn't matter too much. Now detected doesn't fire because we haven't found 64 of these things with that label. If we were at 4, then it wouldn't find it, or 4 or less. But say we were like some bigger number, detected wouldn't be triggered because we haven't got that number of things detected. However, the count is still accurate to 4. I think in this case, however, we just want to know if there is at least 1, because we're going to use this to find out if there's only 1 left. So actually we want to know if there's 2. Yeah, let's see if that works the way we want it to. So let's grab this for debugging, plug detected into the power and give it just a letter so we can see it. Now if we play time, there's currently 4, so that's 2 or more, and go down to 2, and when we go down to 1, it's no longer saying it's detected 2 of them. So what we really want to know is if there's not 2 or more, then kind of end the level or whatever. Okay. Cool. Now maybe you want to just zoom in to like the winner. So if we do that, then let's have a tag that triggers it. So let's call it end, and when that it has an output called tag output. That sends a signal while that tag is detected. So if we plug that into there, then in here we can get another trigger zone, and this one will look for a tag called end. And we can see, so that's that output coming out. Now if we turn on, use a switch to test it, when we turn, oh, is that not working? And, there you go. So while this trigger is on, it's looking for tags called end, and the tags called end know that they've been detected by any number of trigger zones. So we can use that to our advantage. We can click on that and go like that. So now if we, I think we'll actually have to go into test mode, playtime, and just, oh, we can't delete stuff. So what I'll do is, let's make a test thingy. So all these puppets come with a where is it? With a health manager, which means they get affected by health modifiers. So if we just, okay, and then we'll just move that over these ones and keep this one over here. Right, so we'll look down from above. Yep. And then use a action recorder and move that like that. I can see him flickering, that's pretty weird. Just run time. Oh, probably they're respawning, aren't they? So let's stop that from happening. Let's respawn. We'll just have a destroyer. So is dead. Trigger the destroyer. So trigger the destroyer. And finally on here. Okay. Now I play time, and they get destroyed as it goes, and then that appears, which is what we want. So now if we just play in here, whoa, we have to actually tell that camera what it's meant to be looking at. So let's do that. Oh, that is L1 and X on a camera like that, and we'll just put it like that. So yeah, let's just play. Yay! So that gives us our kind of victory camera. But yeah, so that's doing that. But we also want to give this player a score. Now, so first let's set up a score. So we have that score. We'll turn on multiplayer, and yeah, and then we have a score modifier. First, I think what we'll do is display the score for each of them. So when this is toggled on, the multiplayer, then we can use a splitter and combiner and stuff to use fat wires to give it different values for different players. So if we use get and then plug that into there, now we have this special thing. So let's just display these in different places. So put one up there, one over there, one down there, one over there. So let's get that in there. Okay, so this is just to read it out. So we'll just put that to one side. Like that. We'll have another one that actually sets it or adds to it, let's say. So it's going to add 10 points. Now let's make a combiner that has a similar type of thing as that. And we put it in the same type. So if you look at that icon, we want that icon. Player info. So that has like different values for all of the 4 players. And we'll use that to do stuff. First, let's detect if, so scene again. We want to know if something called P1, and we'll call this one P1. So now you can see only that one is highlighting because it's looking for one with that specific name. So it's looking for if there's one there, and there's only one of them. Cool. So really, when we do this, we don't want to just trigger that. We want to trigger a whole load of stuff, and we just want to go into the end game mode. So this is a selector. This is a selector, and it has many channels, and it sends a signal from only one of these channels at a time. And there's different ways of telling it which channel to be in, and it also always defaults to channel A. So when we're on channel A, we don't really want to do anything. When this is triggered, which means when there's only one guy standing, then we want to go into channel B. So we'll send a signal to channel B, and now it will be in channel B forevermore until something else happens. So let's have a chip and just power that whole chip. Put that in there, and we'll put this in there as well, so that we can save a score. Right, so this is player 1. So we'll just test. Actually, what we'll do is we'll change this name, and we'll call that one player 1 because that's the one that's going to survive. So it'll be quicker to just test that first. So now you can, if I tweak that, you can see that one's flashing. These other ones aren't flashing, so that's good. And if it's detected, then it will set player 1, the player 1 value, to 1 because that's what comes out of this detected when it detects stuff. And then it will package all that up into a special wire. So you power it with this special fat wire, and then only for the players that have a 1 coming in will that actually be powered, and then for the other players it won't be powered. Cool, so now we can just do it for the other players. Like so. Get rid of that. Oh, it's setting it for all of them. Oh, it's because they're all looking for P1, so that needs to look for P2. And then we'll name these other players. So that'll be P2. And P4. So now only player 1 should get the 10, which it does, and the others don't get any points. And then you can like play some animation, give some music, trigger a doorway at the right time so it goes to the next level and they start playing again. Yeah.